Yeah. What's up, y'all? This is going to be a little different. This is just very impromptu. This is like one of those podcasts and stuff where I'm just, it wasn't a part of the scheduled thing, right? But I just got to get this off my chest. I got to say it, right? And it's just a situation. I'll use the term square. I'll use the term square. And it really irks me. It's one of the few things that irk me in life. When someone, a man who has had very little sexual experience, or even a virgin, because I've had that too, where they want to argue with you about how to get women. You got somebody they can't even say they've hugged 5 women outside their family. And they want to tell a motherfucker who can't even count how many women they've been with, about the game. And it's the same damn thing all the time, man. They sit there and they'll say something like, yeah, well, women do this and women do that. And it's just like, well, nah, dude, this how they really rolling. And then if you ask the dude, well, you know what, how many women you been with, they can't even say they had a girlfriend. Shit, or they don't even have enough whatever just to even pay for an escort or something. But they will argue with you, because I've done, you know what, and I've said this before with the sale of Nice Guys and Players when they first came out. The players, the dudes who had some game, the cats who had some game, you know it. You can look at them and tell. Yeah, shoot, sometimes they be with a woman. I never had to hard sell them. They would buy it. Some dudes who thought they had game, yeah, they might talk a little stuff. But the dudes who always argued the most were the dudes who needed the book the most. I mean, you could just look at them. And, sometimes I'd be selling a book and, I had my lady there with me and she'd look at it like, yeah, that dude, you should just give it to him for free. But they will argue with you. They will say, well, women do this, women do that. And then they trying to tell a motherfucker who's engaged in like threesomes and had sex sometimes with women lined the fuck up, literally in the same room. And some dudes know about that. Some dudes know about that. You got, especially if you young or something, you got some women just trying to give it up. Some girls, young girls trying to give it up, and you there, shit. They'll be lined up, basically like a reverse train or something. And they trying to tell you now, this dude probably ain't even tongue kissed a woman in his life. They trying to tell you something. And that, you know what? That's the one thing that just irks me. And y'all know me. A lot of shit don't irk me. But you get these motherfuckers. You see them, they corny. You look at them and they corny. And yeah, I'm going to use the word corny. They lame. You just look at them. The women turning their damn noses up at them. In fact, the women going to try to clown them and stuff. And they telling you and stuff. And he say, ugh. It was like, sometimes you even think about it. You might even feel sorry for him. You tell the woman, you find some girl, you be like, look, I give you $200. In fact, the fella did that one time with one dude. Dude was so fucked up, but the dude was arrogant. The woman was like, you know what? Y'all can't even pay me to fuck that motherfucker. It's like, damn. Yeah, that's some shit that happened. Shit, you grow up in certain areas and stuff, or you in certain areas, yeah, stuff like that happens. Oh, you couldn't pay a freak to fuck some of these motherfuckers. But they the main ones who want to argue with you. And it's like you try and tell them nuances, you try and tell them the real deal. Because a lot of times what it is, they just see the surface. They either read stuff or they'll see stuff. Like they'll see like all the women going crazy over one guy, right? But they don't notice the guy over in the corner where the women are slipping that number to him, and you know what, the dude don't stand out. But to the women, they already saw the dude's print or something, or they found out about his reputation. See, there's a lot of stuff to it. See, part of the problem with a lot of dudes, right? A lot of dudes, they on the outside looking in. I remember an example I used one time about basketball, right? And actually have that in an upcoming book. I talk about that, right? It's like a basketball fan who's never played the game at all. Like if you talk to them, all they know about is shooting like jumpers and scoring and all of that. some basic stuff. But if you talk to somebody who actually in the game, they'll tell you little things. They'll talk about drop steps. They'll talk about moving without the ball, spacing, balancing the floor, a lot of little stuff. A lot of little stuff that people don't think about. Sometimes they might even talk about something as simple as catching. They did a lot of little stuff they'll talk about, like somebody who's actually played the game will know. But you see, that's the same thing with this relationship thing. Like me, I'm gonna tell you what, I found it funny. I found this extremely funny. I've never had a dude that can demonstrate that they could get women or whatever have any criticism of anything I say. They be co-signing. Pimps be co-signing. But it be some little desperate dude, they had to like do a whole bunch of stuff just to get a below average woman. They want to say, hey, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm just like, it kills me. Like, I remember one seminar, this dude stood up, said he got the book, saying I ain't agree with nothing in it, right? And I was like, cool. First of all, he was checking out my girl who was there. Then I saw this dude at another seminar. I wasn't presenting. I was just there, and this woman that he was checking out all night was pushing up on me. And I'm looking at him like, well, dude, maybe you should have paid attention. And then I contrast with that with this dude I knew got with like probably several hundred women, because I seen the women like messing with him, and I seen how they were looking at him. Because there's a certain look a woman gave when she done sucked the motherfucker's dick. And that dude co-signing everything. Shit, he trying to add some stuff. I don't know, man. It kills me, man. It kills me. It's just, I don't know, man. It is a frustration because, when I wrote my stuff, a lot of times those the very dudes I'm trying to help. Those are the very dudes I'm trying to help. I think that's the frustration. Like, you get some dudes don't need the stuff. I get some dudes to support me, sell the shit for me. I had one dude, he was like, fucked like 28 women one year and stuff, and that was a slow year for him. That dude was selling copies for me. I didn't have to convince him. That dude was trying to get me more money because he read the stuff. He was like, but then you say some stuff and dudes like say, oh, you bullshitting and shit. Like another story my mentor told, right? He said, it was a group of fellas sitting around, and one dude was talking about how he had like a threesome. But then you had some dudes ain't getting no parts of the pussy talking about, oh, he lying. That don't really happen. That only happen in the movies. And really what they saying is that don't really happen to them. But I'm just like, dude, y'all be surprised, Cause see, here's the thing, man. I done seen it from all angles. I done dealt with sex workers on a social basis, not having sex with them, but where they just telling me shit. Dealt with some real true to the game players, some dudes who, they'll tell you some stuff, or you even see it. You see it like in most neighborhoods, regardless of the social economic class. You got that one dude who dipping in everybody's coming through a lot of back doors and stuff. That back door dude. Like this one sister who's a female player said, back door nigga. And you see all this stuff and you know all this stuff and you experience some stuff. If I ain't feel like being sued since I've like gone out with a lot of attorneys, there's some shit I could tell you blow your minds. And speaking of attorneys, like even the upper class stuff, a lot of dudes don't realize how some of these classy women, they behind closed doors, they had some sex party or something. They gonna get theirs. They gonna get with a certain type of dude, but they gonna get theirs. And there's a lot of stuff out there. It's just not people. If you on the outside, you're just not gonna see it. You ain't gonna know it. You ain't gonna know how to look. Cause even like some of these women, like past couple videos is about the looks thing. And just to be clear, I tell dudes to try to improve their appearance. I say looks do matter, but it's not the only thing. That's all I'm saying. Like, if you ain't getting any play on anything, hey, if you improve your physical appearance, you should improve a little bit. But it's not the end all and be all. Because, like, I knew this one cat This dude, a certified, everybody who's seen him will say he a pretty boy. But when I first met him, when he first started reading my stuff, he wouldn't get no play. In fact, I looked at him, I was like, how you not getting play? But he had to change some shit about himself. He had to change some eternal shit about himself. Now, that dude, I'm going to try to get him to like tell some stories now. That dude, every time I talk to him, he's like, yeah, I hit this, oh, I did that and stuff. And he don't lie on his dick. So I'm like, okay. But yeah, man, yeah, this is just, it is a frustration. It is, right? It really is a frustration. Because even when I wrote my book at first, like I said, it was for the good guys. It was for the hard working cats out there. It was for the introverted cats. The cats ain't getting any play. The cats who just, they just want to take care of a woman. I've had some guys, black and white, tell me some stuff. I remember the white guy told me some stuff, man. He said, damn, he's a good guy. I mean, he was probably, I'll say unfortunate looking, but he was a good guy. He got a good heart, man. He said, man, I just want a woman I can just, spoil sometimes and everything. And I was like, man. Meanwhile, girl, he checking out trying to like holler at me on the low. And I mean, and just from experience, man, dude, I mean, I got some stories, man. I remember one time I'm at a party, right? I'm at a party, got this woman talking with me, right? And she said, we decided to exchange numbers and everything, right? But I really never forget what she said. Because some other dude had brought her to the party, right? And the dude said to him, no, what she said to me, she was like, can you remember numbers? And I was like, yeah, all right, I'm going to give you the number because this dude over here think he my man, right? And she gave me the number. I took it. Then dude walked over, and you could tell dude was trying to holler at it. He thought that was it. He brought her to the party and everything. He straight up asked her, not me. He asked her. He's like, hey, this dude work with you? And I just looked at him. I said, nah, man, just met her here, man. It's good, man. It's good, fella. Yeah. It's too bad. I don't think he ever got with her though. But I'll just say, he shouldn't have been pressed about her. But if he did get with her, well, she has some skills. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, man, that shit's crazy. It really is, because you just sitting there like, you're trying to help the person, but they're gonna fight you. And I'm not the only person in that position. I've seen that with other dudes who try to give dudes game. You always get that person going to try to like argue with you and stuff. And my thing is this: if you're gonna argue, at least be, the criticism I accept is from dudes like Alan Roger Curry or Mr. Lucario. And if they say, hey, Rom, and they haven't had any really, but if they say something, then I'm paying attention because I know they know what's up. Or if some dude that I know getting play saying, hey, I don't know about that dog. And then I'm like, oh, okay. But when it's a dude and you can kind of listen to him, or you can read their comment, or especially you'll see them and you just like, dude, they ain't happening like that for you. I'm like, shit. Because, dude, I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. I kind of hold back. And see, I've had a lot of people say a Patreon. If when I get around to doing a Patreon, man, that's when I'm just gonna be raw. I was gonna do that on my subscription site, but that turned into like that evolved into something like deeper and metaphysical. So the Patreon just be raw game, no metaphysics or whatever involved. So when I do it, I'm just gonna be like, this the raw poop. And you're trying to tell people, and sometimes you're trying to tell some. I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes I've tried to tell people, men especially, something because of how women cheat out here. That's how I know a lot of shit. Man. I mean, I've had some women hand me their phone numbers and shit. I call them, that man answer the phone, and I'm like, what the fuck? And they be like, oh yeah, he's just a friend. Hey, they had some gullible ass men. If some dude call about a woman, I'm like, who this and all that? Dudes handing the phone to their women. I'm like, what the fuck? Shoot. And one woman, I never forget what she said and stuff, because we were checking each other out. She was working in some grocery store, and she was just like, we talked about going out, but that was like, cause she was fine. She had a fat ass. I said, "Don't you got a man?" And then she looked at me. She was like, "Nah, me and you just like brother and sister, right?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's what you gonna tell?" And it was like, "Yeah." It's like shit. And, you try to tell dudes this stuff, and you try to give them a perspective, even a perspective on how to avoid those types, which they can be avoided. But, dude want to fight you and argue with you, but they don't have a basis for it. They stuck in their false beliefs, which ain't empower them. And it's just like, dude, I don't know. I'm kind of glad I ain't really go off on it, but it is a pet peeve. And you know what? I know somebody cynical say about book sales and money. Really, it ain't, man. Really, it is not. Y'all don't realize how much play or game and stuff I give away for free, man. I mean, I charge for some deeper shit, but there's a lot of shit that if somebody just listen. I've given some dudes some shit for free, but they were receptive. They listened and they were like, "Oh yeah, that worked." So I just had to get that off my chest, man. I had to get it off the chest. Hey, y'all make. I don't know, man. It's a good thing my sons listen, man. Hell, they might be able to do videos themselves and shit. I got to worry about being them. I got to worry about them not having any babies before they turn 18. Honestly, that's how they listening. All right. So anyway, right. Y'all cool. Peace out. All that stuff. If you're offended by anything I said, hit dogs holler. If you feel what I'm saying, hey, you understand. Peace.